Okay, so now we're going to do an application example using merchandising, retail merchandising. Okay, listen carefully. It says, in retail management, goods are often bought and sold in quantities of dozens and fractions of a dozen. Suppose a buyer purchased 14 2/3 dozen shirts for a clothing store. So 14 2/3 dozens. So 14 2/3 dozen. Oops. Yeah. Oops. Okay, so let me continue. And she needs to calculate the total number of shirts purchased. Okay, well, she bought 14 2/3 dozen shirts. Well, we don't want to know how many shirts she bought. Well, what's a dozen? A dozen is equal to 12 shirts, right? So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to multiply, right? We have this many dozens. We know there are 12 shirts in a dozen. So now we're going to multiply to find the total number of shirts, right? So it's 14 2/3 times 12. Okay, now how do we handle this? Okay, now we want to put this in terms of fractions, right? Well, a mixed number, we have to change that to an improper fraction. So 3 times 14 is what? 52. Or no, 42. 42, sorry. And then plus 2 is 44. So we get 44 thirds, right? Now, 12, we can write that as a fraction, right? Easily. 12 over 1. Right? 12 divided by 1 is 12. So, okay? Now, look for cancellations. Okay, so the 3 and the 12 are both divisible by 3. So if I divide the 3 by 3, I get 1. If I divide the 12 by 3, I get 4, and that's it. There's nothing else I can cancel. Okay, so now look at that. I get 1s on the bottom. So now I'm going to get a whole number, right? Which makes sense. Because if I'm counting t-shirts, or not t-shirts, but if I'm counting shirts, I shouldn't get a fraction. I should get a whole number, right? Or I should get a fraction that reduces to a whole number, right? So again, gut check. So now, if I multiply across the top, I get 4 times 44, which is 176, over 1, which is 176 shirts. So the answer is, they purchased 176 shirts for the store. Have a great day.